Good morning. My name is Beth Carter and I'm the counselor at Greenfield Elementary School, and I've been here since 1995.
Okay, great. Could you just describe for me your job on a day-to-day basis?
Absolutely. My job encompasses a number of things. One of the things that I do is classroom lessons, and those lessons involve study skills, work habits, character education, and anything that the teachers feel like the students need to work on as a group and as a whole classroom setting. I also do small group counseling for children that have commonly shared concerns or issues that can involve divorce in a family. It can involve anger management, and it can involve friendship skills. It can involve stress management. So it involves anything that that any child might need in a smaller group setting. Most of my groups include 6 to 8 children, and I will see them probably between 6 and 8 times for a specific purpose. And those children are selected. I get referrals from parents. I get students that self-refer for the groups, and I also get referrals from teachers. I also see students individually for individual counseling that is really for them to be successful in school. It's not therapeutic in nature at all. It has more to do with trying to solve problems so that they can move on and be successful in school.
Okay, great.
The other thing I do a lot of, it's incredible how much time I spend in consultation with adults in a child's life. Whether it's parents, but it's also teachers. It's also my administration. It could be outside sources. If they're seeing a therapist outside of school, then as long as I have a release to talk to them, then I will talk to anybody that is involved in the child's life. So, and it also involves consultation with other counselors for a variety of reasons. They need help with an issue, and so I talk to them too. So it involves children, but also involves adults. And I also have people who come to me, some of the teachers and employees in our school that come to me with their own personal problems. So I do help, try to help them just explore the possibilities of ways that they can solve those problems.
Great. Okay, you said you work with small groups and individual kids. Can you tell me what it's like in comparison and like why you do groups versus just one-on-one?
Absolutely. I think children can learn a great deal from their peers. When I run a group for children of divorce, I call it a changing family group. Those children that are involved in the group have been referred, and very often they're in different places. So it could be that a parent has divorced, say, 2 years ago, and then I might have somebody in the group whose parents have newly separated. And so the child with the experience can often help the child that is going through anything new that they're not used to. So I'm a true believer in that we're all teachers. Parents are teachers. Children are also teachers. And all I do a lot of times is facilitate what happens in that group. But I let the children talk. We have to keep it appropriate, and I give them guidelines. That confidentiality is really crucial. That we give everyone a chance to speak. And so you set the tone for the group, and I let children then be able to talk about the things that they truly, are having some problems with. But they do become the best advisors for children that are going through it. In fact, one of the activities that I've done in the past, it's like a Dear Abby column where I have students that are experienced, that may have been in my group before, become a panel And then I have students that are new to the group ask the people in the panel in Dear Abby fashion, Dear Abby, I'm having a hard time with my parent separation. My dad says mean things about my mom, and my mom says mean things about my dad. What can I do, because I love them both? And then I've got a group of experts, really. They're children experts.
That's so interesting.
So that they're able to answer and help them. Of course, I'm there to guide the discussion and to also give them input as to things that they may not cover.
Right. Okay. What would you say is the most difficult part of your job?
The hardest part of my job, when I say is the lowest of low points for me, is when a child has been hurt, abused. And so abused or neglected, and being able to get the help that they need. That's where the lowest of lows for my job comes in.
So where do you come into that situation? Does someone report it to you, and then you talk to the child?
Yes, a child will usually come into school. They may have a mark on them. They may have a bruise. They may have some kind of outwardly physical sign that they have been physically abused. And the teacher is usually the first person to see them. Children also they talk, especially in an elementary school.
Yeah.
The younger they are, the more they talk, and they will tell things that have happened. So I do have the teacher is the first person that will see them and talk to them, and then the teacher very often will refer them to me.
Okay.
I did have it's probably been about 10 years ago, I did have a student in a first grade classroom ask the teacher if he could come to see me, and he came in and said, Mrs. Carter, somebody in my class, their stepmother kicks them. And so I said, okay, can you tell me who it is? The child told me who it was, and I proceeded to pull this little girl in, and the abuse had been going on for a long time. It was fairly horrific with her description. I did call social services. Social services did intervene, but this little girl wasn't telling anybody. She had been told if she told anybody that she would be hurt even more severely. The stepmother was kicking her. And so, anyway, she had told her best friend in a first grade classroom. So you're talking about a child that's 6 or 7 years old. And so that was an impetus to really for help for the family. Because obviously nobody likes to take the children away from a parent if they can be helped.
Right.
So, and that's where social services always will start working on, can this family remain intact? And so the family did get help.
Okay, so just on a more positive note, what's your favorite part of your job?
The favorite part is the interaction, the relationships that I have with the children and the adults. There's nothing more rewarding in this world.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Than helping.
How did you decide to go into this field?
Sorry. I am getting ready to retire, so this is all very bittersweet. I went in, from the moment, I think it was, I want to say Carl, maybe Eric Byrne, said, who was a psychologist, and he says that most people know before the age of 9 what they're going to do as an adult. I think for the most part, I think most of us do. I played school when I was a little girl, and I would have corral all of the neighborhood children in my teenage years to participate in what my sister and I started as the Busy Bee Club in my neighborhood. So with that in mind, and my sister is also a teacher. She's a middle school teacher in California. So I think with that in mind, that we do figure out where our passion lies. Some people don't always acknowledge their passion. I was somebody who worked for 3 years right out of high school for the telephone company, and knew that wasn't where I wanted to spend the rest of my life, answering phone calls when a phone was broken. So I started taking night classes in a community college and loved what I was learning, and then decided to go ahead and go to school full-time and become a teacher. I taught for 15 years, and on my 12th year of teaching, I decided I really wanted to pursue the counseling part of it. Because in my own personal life, having experienced the loss of my mother at the age of 9 was critical for me to be able to really heal myself, and in doing so, knowing that as an adult it would be beneficial for me to help children that needed somebody to talk to when things got rough. So I pursued a master's degree and got that, and then got a job right away as soon as I finished.
That's great.
Got a job here at Greenfield.
Yeah, so you've been working here ever since?
Yes, 16 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So I understand you are retiring after 30 plus years.
Yes.
So what's next for you?
Ooh, I actually wrote a book, and it was, it's not, it's a booklet, but it's Retirement A to Z, and it's all the things that I have put off doing that I want to do. So A includes art lessons, C is cooking, things that I just really haven't had time to do. F, of course, is family time and filing, and Z is zip line because I really love adventure, and T is traveling. So I'm going to be doing a variety of things, and I also V is volunteering because I think it's crucial for the adults in the community, no matter what your age, to get involved. To help. I think everybody needs to volunteer. And I love it that schools have the opportunities for our students to learn to become community service workers and volunteer their time and efforts. I think it's something that can be taught. And I think people gain self-esteem by helping others. You can't give anybody self-esteem, but they have to get it. They have to earn it. And by doing that, by helping others, they're able to do that.
I totally agree. Well, thank you so much for interviewing me. I understand that you made such a huge impact on this school, so thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Caitlin. It's my pleasure.